Good morning. Good afternoon, I mean. It was quite a morning. $570 profit on my paper trading account with 100,000. Now it's $101,265.88. And my name is Alan at Exodian Trading, which is just the name of my YouTube channel, to be honest with you. I started this so that I would get profit on my paper trading account. At least I know my audio works. I started this with the intention of using it to learn more, hopefully teach some people that have not been doing this as long as I have, which is not too long. I mean, I've been investing in the market since 2001. In fact, I thought I was a genius stock picker when, the rising tide lifts all boats. Oh, I made plenty of money in 2001, 2002. Investing though, not day trading. Got interested in day trading about a year and a half ago. Was excited about it, opened up an account on Robinhood and immediately lost $100 trading options, at which point I said, it's not as simple as it looks. So I started studying various methodologies and trying to learn everything that I could. I found several different quality educational what would you call it, channels on YouTube, which I've watched. I've sort of evolved over time. I think I started with Tim Sykes. Don't really watch him as much anymore, but Tim Bohan, who's still with him, I really like his. He's got a lot on his stocks to trade if you look for it, and of course Jared Wesley of LiveTraders.com. Those are the top two that I'm watching now. But I've watched a lot. I'm not going to name them all. Plus, I've read a few books. But ultimately, the reason I started this was because I lost 80% of my gains for this year on this paper account. Again, I'm trading on paper because if you're not profitable on paper, you're not going to be profitable using your real money. And I don't have money to waste. So basically what I did was started this paper account with 100,000 and I got it up to about 105,500 originally. And that worked out pretty well for me. And then give me a second here. I have to square some things away. Okay, as I was. So I started this in order to improve my trading. Sort of, if you read in my description, I go over some of the things that I've thought about and what led to my decision. It's not that I think I am by any means an expert trader. I would say if I was to assign myself a belt level, like in, say it was karate or something, I'd say I'm a green belt. And, green belts, they know a little bit. They're never going to kick anyone's ass in a street fight, but they know the techniques, and they can practice them, and they can teach the white belts some of the white belt and maybe yellow belt stuff. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. Plus, mainly, I feel like if somebody's watching over my shoulder while I'm doing this, I will be more careful in my trades and not make the same kind of mistakes that I made that ended up giving back 80% roughly of my year-to-date gains in this paper account. So for now, on my watch list, I have a few possible that one didn't. Okay, actually, let's see what VCNX is doing. So this was the original one that I was looking at, was INPX, and I was hoping that it would hold. It looks like it kind of is. It's under VWAP, so let's see here. Yeah, it's under the VWAP. It's kind of made itself a holding pattern, but it appears to be on a downtrend. If we look at this, I've got the 5-minute here. 1 minute. And I don't short, and there's the only way I would buy this would be if it jumped up above 171. Who knows? Might happen. I'll keep it on my watch list. But that it might tire it out too. Who knows? So another one that I wanted to take a look at was VCNX. That seems to be really consolidating right now. And if it's, oops, it's hard to do two keyboards. All right, so VCNX is really just kind of skirting that VWAP, which is kind of what I wanted to see, because if it does take off, it's got a ways to go. And it's got news, AxonX reports to license so there's news. I don't know whether it's good news, bad news, how that exactly works, but it's kind of riding at the midpoint between its high and low. If you look here, you could see on the 20-day that it basically has a low around 260, and it had a high around 956 on Friday, and then during the pre-market it stayed kind of flat. Well, that's on the what is that, the 1 hour, comparatively flat, but not really. If you look over here on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, we had these are our levels. So it had a high today. It had a double top, 580, but it had kind of a loose high that might also act as resistance if it does take off there, and possible at 557, although unlikely. Although that was kind of like where it opened on the second 5-minute bar candle. But honestly, if this was to go, no, I just don't like it. You see, that's what it is about being new. Sometimes you don't really know what you like and what you don't. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the drawing board and pull this bad boy over here so you can see how I kind of get my ideas sometimes. Okay. So I keep this up on a different screen most of the time, and I'm glad to be able to show you right now. This is they have the ready to rip. I really do like this, but I look for the lower price stocks. And okay, like Mac. See Mac down here? Now it's covered, but when I take that away, $13.49, and it's red right now. So let's go check that out. Let me get this out of the way. But I want to start with my yearly chart. That's the minimum long-term chart you should start with. You can go out 3 years, 5 years, anything past 5 years. Pretty useless, but you can have resistance and support back as far as possibly 5 years. Okay, so we had a spike here. See, what's nice about this is when it goes up, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days. Now it had 1, 2 big red days, 3, 4, 5 red days. What is there any news? Ex-dividend, earnings call. So nothing today. Today is the 22nd. But look at it. So let's see what it looks like on the minute chart, 5-minute chart. Oh, this is almost a perfect spot. Look at that. But no volume. I like the candlestick setup. That's a nice little resting period there, 5, 10, 15, 20. And then you have a, this puts in a higher high, higher low, but the volume's not there. And this is a 5-minute chart, and there's only 300,000 volume. So that would be sort of like a reason not to trade. Oh, as I should have said before, you might get bored watching this because I see being a trader as really looking for reasons not to take trades. Like, I love this pattern. There's a better than 50% retracement here. Maybe it's a little bit too much of a retracement, but it's above the VWAP. Looks like a double bottom on the 5-minute chart. Let's see how this looks on the 1-minute chart. Pretty much. Oh yeah, on the 1-minute chart, maybe not such a great idea to trade this. Well, it wasn't anyway. But now I can see it's clearly in a downtrend, still above VWAP. So, I mean, if it gets down to, say, let's see where, let's go back out. It's the daily chart. So this seems to be a pretty good level right here for a while. So let's say, I just want to put that there. All right, let's go to the 20-day 1 hour. This is where you can really see it. See, these are the levels here. All right, if this takes off, potentially, this is potential. Oh, it passed that resistance. Look at this. It just passed this. Oh, no, it didn't. If it makes it past that, then our next target might be right here. 1447. Oh, wow. Unless That's just a little wick, but that's a possible resistance. But it's already too far out. That would be chasing. Look at that. It needs to come down. It needs to rest a bit. The 1 minute chart. So the hourly chart, you can see what the difference is in these charts. So you got the 5 minute chart here, shows one picture. You got the 1 minute chart here, shows another picture. You get the hourly chart, it just shows a parabolic. And then you got the daily chart. I'm kind of liking this 1 minute setup here. This is starting to look like a buy setup on the 1 minute. Like this almost looks like a little double bottom here, and it's somewhat at support, which was resistance before. If it pops over this at 1351, we might get to 1367 with a 6-cent risk for a 16-cent gain. Let's watch this one. It's way above VWAP. What's my lines? I didn't put lines. I'm trying to get over the 1352. I should put an order at 1353. Let's do 1,000. Limit. Always make limit orders when you're buying. And oh, my bad. What am I doing? I'm going to do a stop limit order. That's it. When it hits 1353, it'll have a limit order of 1353. If that touches down, it'll take off, and we will be very happy. And if it doesn't, oh, and then of course, as soon as that happens, I'm going to want to set my my stop loss at 1346. Actually, 1345 is where I'll set it. If this takes off and buys it. Okay, should be filled. 1353. Should have got filled. Why didn't I get filled? Let me just change this order to a limit order. Hopefully it'll come back down and pick it up. We'll just call it a limit order. Just need it to drop down. It probably won't though. It's just going to go. I'm not going to chase it though. See, that's the thing with this paper trading. I'm pretty sure if this was, well, I still might not have got filled, but there weren't a lot of sellers. It doesn't look like it's going to come down. So if that doesn't happen, you know what? Like Professor Wally J, my favorite jiu-jitsu instructor, said, in jiu-jitsu, if you know what you're doing, there's always something you can do. Well, in stock trading, if you miss something, there's always something coming right around the corner, especially in this market. It's so crazy, so hot. Now we're going to watch this go up to 1365, and I just missed it because the order didn't go through. That's crazy. Hey, if you're watching this and you're enjoying it, please like and subscribe. I have just begun this little journey, but it helps me to have people watching over my shoulder because I really reason out what I'm doing as I'm explaining it, and it makes me a better trader. Like I said, I decided to start this channel because I gave back about 80%. I gave back should have gave back 4,800 of a 5,500 gain year to date on this paper trading account of 100,000. But I did another stupid trade that I got lucky on later in the day, and so I gained back some money. So I ended up, I think, 3,800 down. I don't know, it's in the description. But so I started this week at with basically a $669 that I could play with on this $100,000 account. As you can see from this morning, I had I gained some. I gained about 500 and something. I hate it when I miss something. I'm just watching this because I want to see if it makes it to where I think. I mean, this is a more likely target. This would be the first target, right? You know, right up here around this mark, 1363. And if it crosses 1367, I would like to see it maybe come back down to here and then go parabolic. We don't know. You can't predict what the market does. You can only react. And oh, look at this. Is it gonna fill me? See, there was a lot of volume on this candle right here. I should have got filled. I don't understand why. Well, I do understand. It's paper trading. There's glitches on this paper. It's Thinkorswim paper account. Paper is, it's not. I asked somebody, one of the chat people that work for TD. I said, why is my paper trading okay? My level 2 is slow. There's glitches. Sometimes you'll see like these long wicks up or down that don't exist in the regular level on your regular chart on a regular account. And basically what they told me was that the resources, the computing resources, are reserved for the regular. On the paper trading accounts, you kind of get the extra, which makes sense. That's how I would do it if I didn't really want to invest in, to make it awesome for both. I would certainly put the paper trading as a secondary priority. All right, so this is the 1 minute chart. If this, if we get some, it's still not a lot of volume. It might have actually been a bad idea to try to trade this on this kind of volume. And had I been in this trade, I'd have been watching this level 2, and you see how there's 21 people here trying to buy at 356. This is a nice spread, small spread, and then there's 4 people trying to sell. So this only, it's like 3 to 1. So it may not drive the price up, but it's nice to see more buyers than sellers. That usually, especially if there's a lot more, which there isn't in this case, and not many at all anyway. I think I'm going to cancel this order though. I wish there was something else that we could. Okay, so now the Calvera Trade Idea Livestock Scanner is no longer showing ready to rip for anything, let alone this stock. So let's just see what else is out there. I have a few things on a watch list on my other screen. I really need to, it's funny when you set up a setup for your Thinkorswim on one computer, even though it's your account, it doesn't automatically show up in your other computer. Like right here, I have this set up. I have 7, 8, and 9. I'm working on 9 right now. But on my other computer, my desktop which has more monitors, I'm up to 11, and I like it a lot better. I haven't taken the time to really switch this around. I mean, there's ways you can share it, etc. But I just wish it would just show up because it's the same account. But this is my paper trading account, so that may be why. I think if I open my regular account, they might show up. But so be it. Look at that, and it's a little more volume too. Let's see. That's only 10,000 though. Maybe a more experienced trader would get a better gauge. They might go for it, they might not. But as for me, I'm just not. Let's check out VCNX. It looks like it's taken off. Whoops. Oh yeah. So let's see where we're at here. So we got 536. So this thing could theoretically go up to 580 from where it's at. If it breaks this level of what is this, 540, it could go far. It's above VWAP. Let's check the volume. It's not terrible volume, but not great. No, it's not really. That's not good volume at all. It's like 91,000. What's the? I still haven't figured out how to get the volume on the day. Well, duh, there's one way. Just go to your daily chart. And yeah, see, today the volume is pretty weak compared to Friday. But I wonder what time that volume came in on Friday, because if that was in the afternoon, patterns tend to repeat. Stocks tend to, like if a stock goes up in the middle of the day, it's going to tend to go up again in the middle of the day. This one tends to looks like it stays flat. So this is not what I like to see on a daily chart. But it's in an upward trend. I like that. Is this a trade that I should take? I think if it gets over 540, I very well might. Like I said, I mean, look, from 540 up, there's literally no resistance for the day. I mean, there's some soft resistance that goes back a ways if you, like back here in the pre-market, but even that is so far away. Yeah, if this breaks 540, I think I'm going to put an order in. So 100 shares would cost 500. Let's do 5,000. Let's do 1,000 shares. 1,000 shares. And I am going to put I'm just going to make it a limit order for 541. How many offers do we have at 541? None. Got a lot of buyers at 529. I'm gonna go at this right at the dollar and hope I get filled. I mean, okay, should I be doing this? Compared to Friday's volume, today's volume is crap. I'm gonna watch the volume. If the volume picks up, I'm just gonna sit here and watch this. Sorry if any viewers get bored. But that's life in the trading world. We're snipers. We don't throw hand grenades. We sit and we wait. Look at that. It's going towards VWAP. If it bounces off VWAP, 530 to 540 might be a nice little scalp. If I see a double bounce off of VWAP, of course I'm trading on the 1 minute chart, and most of the experienced traders I know tend not to trade. I mean, even Jared Wesley, he trades on a 2 minute chart usually. That's what he says. He also, of course, 5 minute charts, etc. Let's see how this. Okay, so if I push this, there'll be one more button to push before it actually goes through. So let's just get this out of the way. What I want to see is I want to see this pop above 540 for a second, and hopefully, if it hits 540, I'm going to put my order in. Providing there's some decent volume. Like this is not decent volume. This, it would actually have to exceed this. It would have to exceed all of these. I would want to see. I don't exactly know what I'd want to see. I want to see a lot. I just want to see more. Maybe this is good, but it's not a lot. It'd probably be a stupid trade. I'm gonna have to research this later. Oh, here we go. Is it gonna drop below VWAP? That's why we don't predict. We react to clear patterns, easily identifiable. Okay, started there. Oh, look at that. This bar started at VWAP. Okay, it's not letting me do any of this. Yeah, this is no good. This is not a good trade. And the market's going up. You know, there's like about 4 things you really got to pay attention to before you really do anything in these trades. And that, of course, there's the candlestick patterns, the chart patterns. There's volume. You want high volume. You want a good pattern, a good candlestick pattern setup. You want to see which direction the market's going. Because if the market's right here or right here on a red candle and it's still red and it just seems to be going down, it's not going to be easy to see this go up to any degree. I mean, there are some stocks that are stronger and they will, but typically no. But now you see we have green over here, increases the likelihood of this turning green. These are 2 minute charts, by the way. So 2, 4, 6. And what do we have here? We got this 1 minute chart. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's lagging by a couple of minutes. Okay, so it touched under the VWAP. This would be the stop if we enter this trade. So 529, 540. So risking 11 cents basically is what it would be to make 556. Make 16 cents, possibly. Okay, that's a very soft, but clearly respected level if you go back, and probably even more if you go back prior. Oh, look at that. No, well, sort of. But I think really 580, so that wouldn't be too bad. Let's see what it does. And I'm also scanning. Oh, look at this Sabre. This was a stock that I actually bought 1 share in on my retirement account. Like I don't know if you know, I put $50 in my retirement account to play with. And We put in a double top here. It's above VWAP. If it breaks this double top, oh, it broke it for a second. Seems to be consolidating here. It's been on a steady uptrend. So we got 1513. We might enter this if it breaks 1513 with a 1506. I'll call it 1505 stop. Let's see what the volume is. It's crap volume. There's not much volume in the afternoon compared to the mornings, I guess. But I tend to take trades when there's not volume, which is stupid. So I'm glad I'm looking at it now more clearly, because now that I'm live streaming. So I like the price action, and price action is number one. But volume tells if there's commitment or not. Like over here on this green bar, that's commitment. So this green bar would have been a good entry for a move up. It's not really exhausted. You see this level right here, when it would have it kind of went steady over here, and then it okay. So for a few minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it went here, and then it broke that level. That's not a very good retracement though, so that I wouldn't have bought there. You want to see it retrace a little, at least 50%. But this is nice right here. This is was that about 15 minutes worth of sideways shuffle, which means, okay, so we have these two huge, this huge one, and then a little rest, and then a huge one here. So these are a couple of big marathons. So now we're going sideways. Oh, that's a huge, oh, I like that. I love it when I see a red bar like that. As long as it stays on this level, that means the sellers have become exhausted, hopefully. Although there's, again, not much volume. Really, ideally, I want to see more volume. You might just watch this whole afternoon and I won't make one single trade, because I'm not going to trade just to get some action. And I'm not good enough at this to really know what good trades are and what bad ones are, unless there's something that I've really studied. So like these kind of patterns I've studied. But it's looking like it's breaking down. That's kind of a level there. It might bounce there, but more likely there. Who am I to say more likely? You know what I mean. I think it might. I think those are both possible bounce areas. What to do with that information? Okay, so now we have our 50% retracement. You see this? If you look here, we've got we've got basically this, boom, to here. That's a pretty decent uptick, right? And then it sort of consolidated a bit, but then it started to break down. But that breakdown brought it to roughly a 50% retracement which is kind of what we want to see. I'm not sure what it's going to do next, but I'm definitely going to watch it, because if this goes back, if this breaks this line after this 50% retracement, it's ready for a marathon. So, except volume's not there. If we see volume now, when this breaks 1512, or let's call it this high right here, 1513. I'm just going to watch this because I don't. There's not a lot of other things on my watch list that are doing anything. Kohl's. I was going to watch Kohl's because it was really consolidating sideways, even though it's a high price stock for me, like 56. But Sabre. I actually made a few pennies on this in my retirement account. So let's see what it does. I'm just going to watch it. Sorry if you're bored watching it, but that is the trading life. You're going to be bored. Better to be bored than panicked, as I like to say. I'm just going to keep this over. I'm going to put this up on my watch list again. Keep an eye on it. I want to see it. I want to see it cross 1513, but only if it. I'm only going to buy it if it crosses with volume. Let's see what else we got here. If you're wondering what that little popping sound is in the background, that is my roommate firing his air gun. He likes to shoot air guns at a target in the backyard, and he's pretty good at it. He's got a lot of air guns actually. It's funny too because like right at the corner of our property, I'm in Fresno, California, and at the corner of our property is one of those gunshot sensors. So like if a real gun goes off, the cops know they'll be right there, boom. But luckily, like we're right on the edge of a really nice part of town. That's the old Fig Gardens area, so that's really neat. I suppose by that you could probably figure out exactly where I live if you were motivated. My wife asked me not to get famous on here, so that's why you'll never see my face unless she lets up, and well, even then, who knows. So I'm looking for something else. I'm on the scanner that I'm usually use. See what GHSI. Now these are penny stocks here. Let's see what GHS. Whoops. GHSI. You kind of really have to use a 5-minute chart for penny stocks because otherwise they just the volume. Let's see what it's doing. I think I want to go. I'm going to start with the yearly charts on and just start running through a few different stocks. Oh, you can see I made some trades on this before. Made some money back in when was it? Oh, I made several trades. What day was that? January 4th. Yeah, this was a nice one. Right after I basically started doing this, I caught a nice little gap up. Okay, where are we at now? We're here. From here, this is where it started today. 112. It's at 106. But we've got lots of interesting levels. Like it looks like it held this base, held this support. Looks like it's stopping at this resistance. Let's look at the 20-day 1 hour. Now see, these are all potential resistance. If you look basically from here on, any point above and to the left, especially stuff like this, where I mean it came up and touched 116, several times. So that's pretty hard resistance right there. This one, I don't know where to call this. Let's just call this, I mean, you got this, these are all pre-market. This was during market, yeah. So I'm not really sure. Let's see where we might go with this. So both of you up. Five-minute chart, duh. It's a penny stock. Looks like it doesn't want to break that level, but if it does break 107, it'll go up to 109, and the risk would be 105, 106. That's not even worth it. Okay. That's why I don't like penny stocks. They're just, I like listed NASDAQ. Stuff like that. I'm just not seeing anything today. Well, sometimes that happens. Let's try a scan. Let's see what's going on with the scan. Same stuff. Why is it showing me all the same things? I got the volume difference, 10% minimum difference in volume, percent change, 50% change. Let's lower that. Let's give it 20. Oops. Let's see what we get. Yeah, I haven't really spent a lot of time figuring out the scanners because there's so many other good scanners out there on YouTube, and I mean there's all kinds of watch lists you can subscribe to, stuff like that. I've kind of put the scanning on the back burner. Let's see what RNWK looks like though. So this is one that I've looked at before. I don't know exactly when. Let's see what it looks like on the yearly. So it's a nice, I like stuff that's either going pretty well sideways or has a slight upward trend. And then you get to stuff like this, and this is nice to see. Okay, so that's not bad. I've pretty much got all the levels marked out. There's another level. Let's do the 20-day 1 hour. So 20-day 1 hour also shows all right. Check the 5-minute. So looks like we have sort of a double bottom right here at this point. So that's nice. And then we have, you can see it's kind of holding this level. Looks like we've established a new level here. That looks like a new bottom. I feel like if it breaks this top with volume, look at this volume. This is good volume right here. Well, not that, but I mean, we're talking about 1.5 million on this candle. No wonder it made it up there, but then the buyers got tired and the sellers came in and started winning, and it went down on volume, so all the sellers were satisfied. It kind of, now it's been chopping around for the last, what, 10-15 minutes. If it breaks 540 with some volume, we could expect at least a move up to 575, 40, 50, 60, 70. So that's 35 cents. And our risk would be down here, 31 cents. It's not a very good risk to reward, unless I'm missing something. I mean, it'd be great to see that pop up above the 575 area, but it's going to take some time. This afternoon is kind of a grind, but it's really good as a beginning trader to learn patience, be able to just watch what's going on and not feel the need. Like I'm up 570 for the day from this morning. So the stupidest thing I could do is just jump in a trade because I feel like I know where it's going to go. No, I don't want to predict. I want to react. I want to respond. And that's why you guys are here, to keep me honest. Because honestly, if I wasn't streaming this, I probably would have took about 3 trades today. But I only took 1 trade and came out of it 570. That was pretty good. I feel good about that. Oh, look at VCNX. It's crazy. Look what it just did. Oh, it broke that level. What was I saying about this? I need to really keep a notebook. Okay, I said if it breaks this level, God, missed that one. I wanted to keep this chart on too, but I was like, you know what? I got people watching me. I have 5 viewers right now. Do I want to keep this boring ass chart up? I think I kept it up from here to here, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, this is a nice consolidation, but oh man, so see, having people look over your shoulder is a double-edged sword, I guess. On the one hand, I don't want to make stupid trades. On the other hand, I don't want to bore you. But guess what? I think you're going to be bored sometimes. Maybe you can watch my recaps later. But from now on, I'm not switching off of a chart that I think has some real potential. It's too late on this one now. See what it looks like on the 1 minute. Yeah. See, we were down here. And that's a parabolic mean. 545. There's no way I'm going to get in this unless it rests a little bit. It'd be nice if this was a new level and it rested a bit. What time is it? It's 11:40 here. So 2:40. So basically about 50 more minutes till the market closes. Or no, hour and 20 minutes. Oh, okay. So we have a retracement. I'm going to watch this one. I have this up on my other monitors. I want to see it break that 580 with some volume. If it breaks 580 with volume, the next I think like the next level of resistance is here at 6. See that? I always do that. If you look back, the next level really 670-ish. Let's see, what is it exactly? High 666. This one high also, so 666 basically. I have to remember that. Yeah, there's really nothing. I want to see this. I want to see this. I want to see it rest a little bit. And then I want to see it break out again. And this is a 5-minute candle. I want to look at the 1 minutes again. I think if it breaks 570, the sky's the limit. I'm going to put an order in on this one. I said 570, right? Let's do 2000. I'm going to be watching this on my other screen where I can see it a little better because I can enlarge it here. But I'm going to be watching the volume specifically. To see what it's doing and what the price action is doing. Actually, yeah, we get time. I'll make this. Okay. Oh, I'm glad. Glad that didn't happen. Well, I'm going to change this to 571. I want it to pop over that 570. Now, if it hits 570 with volume, I'll put this order in. I'm watching the 1 minute chart. There's been a few red candles. This red candle on the 1 minute chart. The reason I'm doing this and not putting in a stop limit order, which is what I would normally do, is it seems like stop limit orders aren't working on this paper trading account. So I'm basically sitting here with my finger on the trigger. Looks like it's made a new bottom here. The bottom is Where's the bottom? Oh, look, another bottom. Let's see where this bottom is. $5.55. Oh, and which corresponds with sort of a level anyway. 5.55 level. Which is fine. This can retrace. Well, theoretically, this is not a bad retracement. You want to see about 50%. Let's save this. Oh, look at that. Can save them. Switch this over to a 1 minute. Yeah, if this gets above 570 with some volume, I mean, very, very, very slight chance it'll get hung up at 575. That's why I say with volume. I want to see it blast past 575, but if I wait till 575 to buy, my risk is, oh, look at that, set some new lows. 555. It's kind of a mini buy setup right here. If this pops above 560 on volume, but it's not. I like this volume over here. See all these green candles with all this volume. They're dojis, and of course this is an extended wick upwards, which kind of indicates, I mean, any experience would tell you that the likelihood of this bar being red is a little higher because of this long topping tail here. And then of course these, I don't know if I would call these dojis or not. These have some bottoming tails, but this topping tail really does tell the tail and why that one turned red. And then slight bottoming tail here, that one turned green. Topping tail here to another red, to a red, to a green with a bottoming tail, which might have indicated that it would go up, but you want to see confirmation. So right now, just made another new low, but this is actually good. I'm not upset about this because this is about 50% retracement for this move right here. This is good. I like to see this. Now, if you want to see a parabolic, the best place to see it take off from is about halfway down the last move up. So this right here, from here to here, could be considered a move up. We started basically here and went up, 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 up to here. Now it has retraced roughly halfway. So if this starts to go up again, and it pops above 570, 575 on volume, it could take off really well. Then again, it might not. What kind of news do we have? They have news even from this morning, and they've been having news. I think this is a stock that's been, yeah, this really popped on Friday. It was really flat around 275 for a long time, several months. Well, what, between 170 to 275. It's had a slow creep up. I like how that bottom formed. So that would be, this would be the risk right here at 552. So it held that 50-cent line. See, there's a lot of traders tend to like the 50 cent, the $1 marks. So if something's dropping, sometimes it'll hold at the 50 cent mark. If it's going up, once it hits the 50 cent mark, it could go another 50 cents sometimes. Okay, now see, this might have. I don't know, is this a buy signal? Kind of was. I could have bought here for a quick scalp, maybe. This one went up. Above this one, my risk would have been 550. Could have bought in at 554 with the potential to go all the way to 567. But I'm glad I didn't. This doji was anybody's news, and there's not a lot of volume. Again, if you're watching, help a brother out, like and subscribe. You're probably going to be bored. What I'll do is at the end of each trading session, if I made any trades, like I did this morning, in the comments I edited it to show, you know, where I started the trade, where I ended it, so you can just fast forward in the video on that. Of course, I may not have done it right. I think no, I did. If you consider I started it at 6 a.m., 9 Eastern. Anyway, a lot of new stuff to figure out. Just starting to stream. Here we go. These are the kind of moves. Now, I really want to see this get over 570. If it hits 570, 575, it could just go crazy. And it's been on people's radars since Friday. See, this could have been another potential buy setup right here, because you have a low, and then this beats that low, and then this one beats that, so that's nice. But yeah, this is probably where I could have had a buy setup, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see if this pops above, if this hits 570, if it hits, what should I do? What should I do? Yeah, I'm gonna put this in. Now the reason I'm doing a limit order and not a stop limit, which would be a lot more convenient because I wouldn't have to sit here and push the button, is because I am paper trading, and for some reason in this paper trading account I had a stop limit earlier on a different stock. That didn't get filled because I don't know why. It just didn't. I know that a lot of the resources, compute-wise, at TDAmeritrade are devoted towards the real-time, real money stock trading. So the level 2, as you can see, is a lot slower than you're going to see in normal. That was one thing. I actually spoke to one of the people that works at TD about this, and that's what they told me. They said that the resources. Hello? No. It's kind of silly. Telemarketer calling. This is actually not bad. I like this. Here's what's happening now. This is giving us kind of another low, another bottom to sort of set a stop at. If this comes down and hits that spot again, I would say that's a nice little double bottom. But I'm going to call that a new low, or a more current low, and use 564 as my stop. If this pops above, it's tough, 570 or 575, this little tail here. Well, now that this low is, it went back down to the 9 EMA. As you'll notice, a lot of people use a lot of indicators and Bollinger Bands and all these kind of things, but I'm pretty simple. I feel like really if I only had to use one indicator, it would be the VWAP, because I've learned don't go long on something below the VWAP, and don't go, and I don't short anyway. But I have here the 20 EMA. I might change that to 21. Some traders use 21, some use 20. I just started using 20 because I was following Ross at Warrior Trading, and that's what he uses. I stopped following him because he started shutting down his live streams at 6:30 my time, 9:30 your time. So when the market opened, he would shut it down, and I really wanted to watch live trading. In fact, I started this partly because there's really not a lot of live trading where they sit and explain what they're doing and why they're doing it. So I thought that might help some other people that are even newer at this than me. I mean, I've got about a year and a half in trading. Of course, I started investing in 2001 when the market was going crazy, when it was bouncing basically from the bottom of the internet crash. Thought I was kind of a genius stock picker for a while, made lots of money, investing though, not trading. And then of course, when the market stopped going up, I kind of lost that momentum of the rising tide raising all ships. Okay, so now it's consolidating at a little bit of a higher level. I like this. Now, let's see if it bounces at the 20 EMA. I'm going to step away for a minute. Let's hope nothing crazy happened. All right, well, I think it's time to start scanning for some other stuff here. I have on my other screens, I have one screen that has basically 9 charts, 9 2-minute charts up, where I keep an eye on stuff that's on my watch list. So periodically I'd like to look at that. VCNX is doing really good. I do have a few others on there. Nothing seems to be, well, no wonder. Looks like the market just kind of going down a bit, a little choppy right this minute. I like to keep these over here, even though I really am not conscious enough to really look over when I'm about to enter a trade to see what the market's doing. That is my goal. Right now, it's enough to focus on price action, volume, see if there's any kind of news. But that's going to be another thing that I check, hopefully always, before I make a trade. And while I'm in a trade, I'll be watching that as well, because if the market takes a turn down and you're long on a position, it makes it a lot less likely that position is going to keep rising. I like this level of consolidation here. This is nice. I like it when it does this, because this is basically setting a new support right there at 560. So now this is what I like to see this, because what we just had was, this is another 50% retracement roughly from this bottom to this top. This is a 50% retracement. So now if this takes off from here, we can set our well, not anymore. Could have. Let's see if it holds the 557 level that I drew earlier from way over to the left. You can't even see that. I think that was pre-market, but it held it because obviously other people have that level as well. There's a lot of lines on this chart, but I'm going to tell you the only lines that really matter right now, well, now are this one right here. This is a more recent bottom. I got it from over here. I don't know, sometimes. Okay, now if it doesn't hold this bottom, we might be in some trouble. But if it puts in a double bottom, that's when I'm going to start looking for a buy signal if there's volume. Look at this volume. This means all the sellers are getting filled here if you compare it to this volume. So hopefully all these sellers are going to be happily filled up, and I'm going to watch this one. I want to see this one go above this one, and then on the next one, if that opens higher, I'm in. And then I think we'll see it go. Well, there I am predicting. Again, I started this so that I would be more responsible in my trades, and the idea that when there's people watching over my shoulder, I tend to make better decisions. Who doesn't? That's why the Secret Service gives the Mormons an extra point on their score. You know, they make a score. You get so many points, you qualify for the job. More points, higher qualified. If you're a Mormon, you actually get an extra point because they feel like you think God is watching over your shoulder, and so you're going to be more honest. Well, in this case, if there's just one other person watching over my shoulder, I'm going to be more conscientious in the decisions I make on my trades. So this looks like it might be putting in another double bottom. If it drops below this 550, then I'm just going to go find something else, because it's not doing what I thought it was going to do. But right now, clearly I missed this move because I didn't want to bore my 7 viewers by sitting here watching this. I was over here somewhere, I think down here. I was like, it's not doing anything. Let me put it on the watch list and move on. And as soon as I did, it did this. So I'm not going to make that mistake again. Oh, here. Didn't hold 550. All right. Let's find something else. I mean, that's not saying it won't go parabolic. I think it's set up to go parabolic, but it didn't make them. Oh, if it holds at 540, it needs to hold at 540. If it doesn't hold at 540, yeah, that's a worthless stock for me right at this particular moment. Let's see what's in the penny movers just for the heck of it. ADMP, pre-market low, GHSI, pre-market high, pre-market. I don't want gappers under 50 million float, RETO. Let's see what our RETO is doing. I want to cancel this. No, I'm going to keep it because you know what? No, I'm going to change it. I'm going to edit this and just keep it there just in case. But I'm going to put it at 576 because if it pops above 575, there's really no place for it to stop. If you look on this hourly chart, let's see, I'm going to say confirm and send, but then I'm going to save it. Okay, if you look on the hourly chart, there's nothing literally between 575 and 956. Oh, that's a daily chart. You saw it before, I think, but if you look on here, there's literally nothing between 575 and roughly 655. So that'll be pretty good, especially for the risk. But for now, do I want to walk away now that I still have that on my other screen, so I'm going to keep that there. But right now, I want to look at RETO. Oh, look at that. It's got a new high and hasn't done much, but it's been kind of a slight upward trend. See, I like to see that. I like if this had a downward trend and then it spiked, there would be no point in trying to go long. Look at this. 123 million. What kind of news have we got? Highlights receipt of state-backed funding with launch of Beijing Winter Olympics competition zone. All right, let's look at the 20-day 1 hour. So we have pre-market. Friday night, it jumped from 120 to a high of 230. So that's almost 100%. And then here it went from 220. Well, it opened at 185 to a high of 366, and now look what it's doing. It's been going down, so that's kind of this could be a panic dip buy if we're lucky, and a crazy, really incredible volume for a penny stock. But let's check the 5-minute. I'm going to set some levels here. Okay, here's the level we got to be aware of. This would be our first profit target on any, well, yeah, I want to see it break this level right here, which has sort of somewhat been support, and if that breaks 257, that's a 20-cent gain, and then if it pops past that, 366. So where would but the risk reward is not so great. It looks like this would be our risk. So we'd risk 233 to 256 for a potential gain of only this. It's like 1-to-1 odds. I don't really like that. I'd love to see this bump up past this. What is this? I'm tired of this mouse. Okay. The high of this is 282. So we saw that go past that. But if we're lucky, what may happen is this could bounce back up to here, do maybe a 50% retracement, and then bounce back up and get above that. And if that happens, then our risk becomes 2 to 1. So let's say let's hope that this resistance turns into support over here, because then what I'd like to see would be maybe something like this, like boom up there, then back down there, and then if the conditions are right, but we'd see this, we'd watch it up to here, and once it passed the 257 mark, that's when I would put my buy order in. And if you look at it on a different candle, see the 5-minute candle, I want to see if there's a lower time frame buy setup on this. See, I like these red candles right here. I like it when it's red and it has high volume, because that means all these buyers got filled. They're all bought out. But then we have the green candles, and they're not huge, but they're getting bigger. Let's see if it holds this level. Or was that really the level we're wanting it to hold, or is it this level here? There we go. Again, you might get bored. The object of this game is not to get action, it's to make money. So like a sniper that spends a lot of time and effort to get in his position and get ready to shoot somebody, the enemy, he's not going to take his shot at a private or some civilian worker. He's going to wait till some high rank, like a master chief or a commander or captain. I'm mixing my metaphors. Of course, you have Army and Navy, but I know the generals are high. Then you got the admirals. So we're looking for the generals and the admirals. We're not going to shoot our shot at the privates or the sergeants. So I've heard it said, and I believe it to be true, that the job of a trader is to find reasons not to get into a stock. Some of the big reasons: low volume, the price action's not there, the pattern's not there. Oh, I like this though. Look at this one. This is kind of let me see. Could this be a buy setup? Yes, but oh wow. Not much volume, no volume, no. 233. This, let's say 234 to this is way below the VWAP. See that? This is why I'm doing this, okay? I was not even paying any attention to the VWAP. If I would have bought this in a long, it would have immediately been a lucky trade if it would have won. This is not a good trade for a long position, and the VWAP's way up here. All right, find something else. HSTO. It's kind of a downward trend. I'm keeping an eye on VCNX on a different monitor, and it had about 5 minutes ago, it dropped to the VWAP for a wick, and then it came back up. All right, let's see what else we got. TRXC, oh, pre-market highs. I don't like. Of course, that kind of is what I'm looking for. Is the morning panic dip buy, which tends to resolve in the afternoon. It dips and then it sort of goes sideways or slowly crawls from the pre-market high, and then sometime after 2 it just takes off. And it's what, 2:15 right now Eastern? No, oh, it's 3:15 Eastern. It's 12:15 California. So we got what, 45 minutes until the market closes. I'm just gonna jump through a few here and see if there's anything that looks good. If not, all right, let's change this to a 1 year. Just always start with your high levels, because that tells you where your resistance is going to be. I mean, if you're buying a stock that's at $1.45 right now, and 2 days ago it had resistance at $1.49, and a day before that it had resistance at $1.51. You don't really have a lot of room to go, even though the daily chart might look good. A lot of new beginner traders, and I've done this as well, they just look at the daily chart, and so they miss a lot of the resistance, and that's where it really comes in. You really want to be really selective, because there can be resistance everywhere, but then when you find that one stock, like AMC, this morning when I saw that, I was looking back, and in the 20-day, the most recent resistance gave it a lot of room, so I went ahead and went pretty big on it because there was volume, and it's really been doing a lot. I've made money on that in the past, of course, in this paper account. I got to keep bringing that up, even though it's in the description. I don't want anybody to think that I'm trading real money here, and the reason why is, I mean, I've had some success on paper, but then again, I gave back 80% last Friday doing stupid trades. VCNX might be heating up. Let's see what that's doing. And I don't want this. I want the 1 minute. I want this. Let's see where we're at. Look at that. So it held 540. Pretty nice. All these lines. It's just too confusing now. I'm going to clear them. Remove. Where was the buy set up here? I'm looking, I see we have 40,000. It's not incredibly awesome volume, but it was pretty high volume. So we had a low here. This would have been my stop. And then, honestly, this probably would have been my buy signal. But again, we're looking at all this stuff. I really think this is the level to beat, 575. If it pops above 575 after resting, it could do something really big. I don't feel bad about missing this because even though there was a buy setup, not really. Not to my eye. I don't really see a real legitimate buy setup over here. Maybe this might have been a good level to buy. That could have been a good buy setup. And that would have netted 47, 57. If you timed it perfectly, it would have netted 13 cents on 545 on a 5-cent risk. That would have been worth it. I'll be right back. Yeah, it kind of sucks because I could have made some money here on Mac. It blew through. I put in a stop limit for 1353 at 1104, and then right after that it ripped through 13. It didn't rip through 1353, but it passed 1353 and in a manner that should have got filled, especially in a paper account, because you're not waiting behind other people. So I should have got filled at 1353, and it actually bounced around. It went up and down. Let's see, this was at 1104. So let's look at Mac at 1104. That's when I put this order in. Or is that when I canceled? Oh, I canceled at 1104. What time did I enter it? Huh. Doesn't even say. I canceled it at 1104. Well, when I created this order, it was under 1353, and I said, man, if that gets to 1353, it's going to take off. And okay, so I think whenever I put this order in, it was any way to look at that. Analyze trade. What does that do? No. Wonder if there's any. Anyway, yeah. So VCNX. Just keeps chopping around. I mean, I could put a stop limit order on this and see if it gets filled at 576, but it seems unlikely because I didn't get it filled on my other stop limit order earlier. Let's change it to stop. limit. Stop at 576, limit. Stop at 575, limit. 576, just in case. Then I'm gonna have to remember to cancel this if I stop early. Just watching it. All right, let's see what else is out there. Spider's really gone. I don't see anything. You know, this is frustrating. I think I'm going to stop today because if I don't, I might force a trade. So I think I'm going to look at this. We're going to see how we did today. 570 profit this morning. Nothing this afternoon. I had a stop limit order at 1353. If you want to go back through, you can see I canceled 1104, but I think I entered it. I put the order in around like maybe 11 o'clock, somewhere around there. You can go back and look through there. You can watch it. Just like I should have got filled. Didn't get filled. Don't know why. So I think I'm going to cancel. Do I have any working orders? Yes. I'm going to cancel this order because if it does go, I'm not going to hold this overnight. I held overnight in my retirement account on that exact. No, that was not on VCNX. It was Sabre. Anyway, thank you for watching. I really appreciate your my viewers, even though I only have a few. I hope you got something out of this. Check back with me tomorrow. Thank you so much.